Let's talk about creative blocks for a few minutes. The number one thing that I believe keeps us from painting or doing creative activities is the idea, it's actually an outdated belief system that we need to produce something of value to someone else, or else it isn't worth our time, or we shouldn't do it, or we can't do it. And that is, it's so outdated. And that is left brain. It's about creating a finished product rather than being in the moment and enjoying the process and seeing what comes up and getting shifting into your right brain and meditating, just being in the moment. So, how can we like break through that resistance and break through that old paradigm and just do something for ourselves? And that's another block. Like, I'm selfish if I take this time to um, go do something that is meaningless, right? I mean, we've all heard that, especially those of us who have come out of religion, like taking time for yourself and making yourself a priority over others is selfish. And um, that's not a good thing, right? Like and especially when we are doing things like doodling or drawing or painting, um, we're not actually producing something. You know, if we are an actual, I don't know, like if we are creating a sign for, let's say, um, the kids have an event at school or something, and you volunteer to create or paint a sign, well, then that is producing something necessary, right? And so then a lot of times we can end up giving ourselves this permission. Well, yeah, I can do it because, it's producing something of value to someone. But if we want to just sit down and start painting for ourselves and we really don't know what we want to paint, or maybe we do, then that battle, right? We have our left brain, we have our subconscious coming into play saying, well, you should be doing this, or you're not good enough. Um, what about all the other things, that whole list of things that you should be doing? Maybe pull up, you don't know how to paint this, and so you need to, right? There's the you need to, you should be, you're not good enough. So we have the inner critic, we have all of these things that come up, and we haven't even started, right? And so a lot of times we just often go do something else that we feel like we should be doing or that is acceptable. So I'm here to give you permission and say, you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you um, produce something, like, just go do it. And when that comes up for me, I just tell myself, you know what? I can paint whatever the heck I want to paint. And if people don't like it, too bad. I'm not here to, I'm not doing this for anyone else but myself. And that is so freeing. And it took me a while to get there too. And a lot of times we need to, shift our belief systems a little bit, and give ourselves permission, or, maybe it's like just so ingrained in us that, we're just left brain, right? We're just got to do, we have to perform. There's got to do all of this, dot, 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 and this isn't of value, it's not productive. And so that is something that I'll save for later down the line, if and when I have time. It costs money to buy art supplies, and right now there are other things that I should be spending money on. And again, do you hear all of that? And really, you are the most important person. You cannot you can't pour from an empty cup. And so if you're not taking care of yourself first and getting into that creative right brain, then at some point in time, your body and your mind is going to put you in a position to where you need to take care of yourself, right? Because you can only go so long. Been there and done that. So how can we like overcome? And there are other creative blocks too, like, oh, I don't know how to do this. The last time you tried this, it turned out like crap, or you got frustrated. There are a whole lot of things that, the left brain, your subconscious is going to tell you, like, remember when, you don't know, like, what are you thinking trying to do this? All of these things can come up. And my biggest piece of advice is to just sit down and do it. And just shift and see what happens. Spend 10 minutes and see what happens to your mindset. See what happens to the feelings, like how does that feel in your body? And when it comes up, like those words like this is ugly or you don't know what you're doing, just tell them to be quiet and just keep going. You're not producing anything. Don't go into it with the idea that it's going to be finished. I have so many pieces that I'm going to paint over, right? Like that are not finished. And so if you go into it with the idea that this is not going to be finished today or next week, maybe this will never be finished. You're just adding a layer. You're adding a piece to the puzzle. And see what comes through for you. I hope that this helps you in some way. I would love to hear if you have overcome like creative blocks. Comment below. Let me know if this resonates with you. And as always, if you have any questions or would like help, let me know that too. You can comment below. You can send me a message, an email, and I would love to hear from you. And it's Sunday, so I hope you are taking some time for yourself today. Not your family, but just for you. Doing something that makes you happy and something that makes you feel alive, rested, whatever it is that you need. I hope today that you take at least 10 to 15 minutes. That's like the bare minimum, and you deserve so much more than that. So take time for you today. All right, love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.